Today's session is called Balancing Youth and Dementia, Caregiver Strategies for Busy Lives. And I'm Patti LaFleur. I am the programs lead at Lorenzo's House. I also have a master's in educational leadership, and I am a certified dementia practitioner. But more importantly, I am a youth carer. I'm a former youth carer for my beautiful Mama Linda. So let's go ahead and get started on what we're going to spend our time together doing. Together, so as a youth carer, you juggle school, work, relationships, friendships, and personal growth, all while caring for a person with dementia. This session is designed for youth caregivers like myself and others in this room, and for people who love youth carers to offer practical strategies to balance these responsibilities while prioritizing your well-being. So together we will explore tips for managing all of these responsibilities: school, friends, partners, and caregiving. We will share self-care strategies to protect our energy and emotional well-being. We will cultivate ways to create moments of joy with our person with dementia to help carry us through. We will share and develop ideas and resources for building your village, a supportive space to share experience and connect with others who understand. But also, I want to lean in and listen. In this room, there are people that are youth carers themselves. There are people that love youth carers. There are people that are professionals. So I am the expert of my story. I am the expert of my Mama Linda, but you're the expert of your story. So let's get started. I am the programs lead at Lorenzo's House, and one of our programs at Lorenzo's House is called Light Club. So I'm going to infuse a few of the fun things that we do at Lorenzo's House in our Light Club through our time together to make this interactive and reflective and responsive. So as a way, I want us to build community, share our collective wisdom, share resources, reflect, ask questions, and walk away with one tool or resource or idea that will help to make your journey a little bit easier and lighter. So please participate in the chat. I already see chats coming through. I see more people joining us. So thank you. Welcome. And what I'd like to do is if you are willing to just in the chat to do your name, your location, and why are you here? So that way we can have an idea of who is in the audience with us. So welcome, welcome. I am Patti. I am the daughter of Linda, who so bravely walked with younger onset dementia, and our journey together profoundly shaped my life. I am humbled today to be able to share a few pieces of my story, some strategies that worked for me as I walked this journey with my beautiful mama. But I also recognize that I am the voice of so many young carers who are caring for their parent or a grandparent or an uncle or an aunt. So I am here as someone to recognize that there are millions of young people, the children of a parent with dementia or the niece or nephew or granddaughter. My beautiful mama illuminated every room she entered, and still beneath her radiant exterior, brain change appeared when I was in my early 20s. For over 10 years, we witnessed heartache, and still we shared countless moments of connection and love. I remember the challenges, trying to balance it all. And I remember all the fears. But still, it was the depth of our bond that united and sustained us and defines our journey. As I walked alongside my mama, I became her advocate and unwavering champion. I discovered the power of community, balancing responsibilities, self-care, empathy, compassion, and finding others who understand. Today, I carry lessons learned and memories cherished. My mama's legacy is undeniably etched upon my heart. And as Carrie said in the chat, I will love like Linda. So thank you for everyone who has introduced themselves in the chat. I'm so thankful to see that there are people that are like me, sons or daughters or grandsons or granddaughters, but also there are people that are here that are supporters in this space. So for those of you that are tuning in and are a youth carer or are a son or daughter or granddaughter or grandson, I see you. For those of you that are parents of a youth carer, we are here for you. For friends and partners and allies, thank you. For professionals, thank you. Thank you for walking alongside us with such heart. I also want to start by naming the importance of identity. For so long on my journey, I didn't identify as a caregiver. I identified as a daughter. And so I want you to embrace whatever identity you take on this role. Are you the son? Are you the daughter? Are you the grandson? Are you the granddaughter? Or are you the carer or the caregiver, the care partner? You are still doing so much, and we see you. And for those that are in the chat that are sons, daughters, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, brothers, grandsons, granddaughters, and so many more, I'm talking to you right now. Something that makes this journey so hard is it can be so isolating. But today in this safe space, you are not alone. We see each other. I see you. I understand how hard this can be. We get pieces of each other's journey in a way that others don't. And we are here in this shared space to elevate our collective wisdom, build our toolkit together for navigating this journey, and to find community. So please participate in the chat, unmute, raise your hand. When I'm sharing my screen, I can't see if people unmute, but please unmute, say, Patti, I want to share something. Like, this is our space together this afternoon. So thank you. And let's get started. I think it's also really helpful to frame our time together. For those that are youth carers, you understand. For those that love youth carers, and for those that are here because they want to support others in the community, I have this beautiful poem that I often think about when I think about what it means, especially for our children and teens who are carers. So this is a poem from Dementia UK that I'm going to read. At the end of the day. A poem about being a young carer. A girl walks home with mates by her side. A boy walks home with chores on his mind. The girl's grades are high, she seems perfect. The boy's grades are low, the stress takes effect. Her worries consist of celebs and TV. His are of appointments and pills endlessly. She gets home and lazes around, eats junk food and plays music loud. He gets home and prepares food, gives his nan pills and stays in a positive mood. Because at the end of the day, if he didn't, who would? I think it's really powerful to name that there is often so many things that we don't see, so many things that the sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters are doing that we don't see. And so allowing this space to just start together right now and name how many youth carers there are just here in the United States alone. So this is all youth carers, not specific to dementia on this slide. And then the next slide, we're going to talk about just dementia in general. So there are over 5,400,000 youth carers in the US. More than 70% assist a parent, grandparent, or great-grandparent. And 34% help more than one person in the house. For those ages 15 to 18, so this is just carers in general, and the bottom part is about dementia specifically. For those ages 15 to 18, approximately 1.6 million youth in this age group are caregivers, representing 9.2% of the demographic. For those ages 19 to 22, around 2 million young adults are caregivers, accounting for 12% of the population. Millennial caregivers and dementia, about 1 in 6 millennial caregivers, average age of about 27, is responsible for someone with dementia. I see the people in the chat already talking about that and sharing ideas and supports and resources in community. And then over 11 million US adults provide unpaid care for individuals with dementia, contributing approximately 18.4 billion hours of care in 2023. So this conversation is needed, it's necessary, and these statistics highlight the substantial role that young caregivers play in supporting family members with dementia, underscoring the need for targeted support and resources to assist them in their caregiving responsibilities. So let's start by just naming what are some of the unique challenges of being a young carer. Let's get it all out there. Let's just throw it out there. What makes this so hard? And I'll pause for some ideas in the chat. Some of the things that can make it so challenging are their brains and bodies are still developing. They have peers that don't relate to what we are going through. It can feel so isolating and so heavy. Lauren says, I just had my first baby last year and it's hard to find balance caring for both and work. You're sandwich caring. You're caring for your baby and your new family, and you're trying to navigate these huge milestones while also caring for a person with dementia. You're trying to balance caregiving with all these demands and career and this desire to be normal. Grief, frustration of what a social life would otherwise look like. It can be so hard when you're walking this journey as a young person or a young adult to not compare yourself to others. They're meeting milestones in their career. I had to step away from the career that I had poured my heart and my soul and a lot of money into to care for my mom because that was the only option. Georgia says, trying to start a career and work long hours, but can't do as much as my peers. So other peers are performing or they are able to get promotions and you feel so stuck. Milestones like graduating from high school or college without your parent right there and to support you and make those big decisions. There are so many unique challenges of walking this journey when you're younger. So we just put that all out there. This graphic, I think, also names all of the caregiving tasks that could happen for a child, a teen, a young adult who's doing this. Not only are you working or going to school or trying to maintain a social life or dating or have a partner, but you're also assisting with daily activities of daily living. You're managing medications, using medical equipment, taking care of housework, transportation, translating, handling finances and appointments. I didn't know when I became an accountant when I became my mom's carer. Meal preparation, trying to keep company and enjoy your time, trying to build and connect. So let's thank you guys for throwing the unique challenges out there and just naming it. And now that we've taken that moment to just kind of put it out there, something that can be really powerful is we're going to just take a quick 2-minute mindfulness. We have busy lives. You're taking this time to be in the session in community with me and with so many others. So we're going to give ourselves 2 minutes. We're going to give ourselves a gift of some mindfulness. We use Insight Timer as one of our mindfulness tools. And so I invite you to close your eyes, get comfortable, and we're going to do just quick 2 minutes to give ourselves a gift. So go ahead and get comfortable and we'll do this together.
Closing your eyes, finding your breath, and release any tightness in your forehead, in the throat, in the belly, in the legs, in the feet. Feel the softness of your body here. And with a hand to your heart, if you like, say for yourself, may I be happy. My intention is my happiness. May I find joy every day. May I be safe. May I be healthy and strong and full of energy. And yet may I be soft and authentic and relaxed. May I feel the space and the silence within me. May I be authentic in my own heart. May I be kind to myself always, saying I accept myself as I am. I practice friendliness to myself as I am. And in my awareness, and my compassion, and my self-compassion, I find peace. And let the hands release. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Thank you for taking that minute. So often on this journey, there are so many different things to do. We just saw the last slide. The last slide shared all of the unique challenges, all of the things that we're holding and thinking about and keeping in our hearts every day. So just taking that moment, it allows not only for us to be more present and to take this moment and this breath together, but it allows us this space to give ourselves a break, to give our brain a hug and a little bit of support. So thank you for taking that moment with me. So as I said, what we're going to do together is we are going to share the different tips and strategies for trying to balance it all. But while we do that, we're going to give ourselves grace and patience and understanding to know that we're doing the best we can. So we have youth carers in this room today. And so let's build our collective toolkit. Let's share our wisdom. I have ideas and tools and strategies that I cannot wait to share with you. Some really beautiful apps and podcasts and ideas, but you're coming with so many beautiful strategies and tools. So let's share, let's build, let's do this together. And please, we're a small group, so please feel free to unmute if you'd like. Please feel free to share in the chat. So the first objective for our time together today is to tips for managing it all. Thank you so much, Georgia, too, for putting that in the chat as a resource for getting connected with a support group. So thank you so much. I love to see this in the chat. And I have a resource document that I will share at the end that includes some support groups. It includes some social media profiles for young carers. So we'll make sure to continue to build. So thank you, Georgia. So tips for managing it all. The first tip is to prioritize and plan. It can be so helpful to use a planner, especially if you are a teen or a college student and you're trying to keep track of assignments and caregiving tasks and social plans in one place. It can be electronic, it can be paper and pencil. Can also be so helpful to break tasks down. What are the big responsibilities that you need to get done in one day? And how can we break that into smaller, more manageable steps? For me, it was always so helpful if I could just cross something off my to do list, even if it was one small part of a bigger task. Setting priorities. What needs immediate attention? We need to get dinner on the table. We need to get to the grocery store because we're out of groceries versus what could be held off for a later day and what can wait. It's also so helpful to set boundaries, communicate your needs, let friends, teachers, classmates, and partners know when you need time or space. Say no when needed. It's okay to decline some of your plans or responsibilities when you're feeling overwhelmed. It's important to protect your peace. It's also helpful to make time for you, just like Georgia and Lauren are talking about in the chat with support groups, finding your community. What is the space? What is the place that you can go that's for you, that fills your cup, that allows you to have the support and help that you need? I even like to schedule on my Google Calendar for work time for downtime. This is my break. I give myself this. This is Patty is unavailable because she just needs to go for a walk with her dog Twix, or she needs to sit with a friend. Finding those small joys, whether it's music, a hobby, or just a brisk walk in the neighborhood, prioritizing moments that bring me happiness. The importance of trying to stay connected with the people in your life who do bring you joy. Lean in on your support. Reach out to friends or families when you need to talk. Just like Lauren and Georgia were talking about, find a support group. Find a group that understands. At Lorenzo's house where I work, we have a light club which has a young adult support group, and it's often this opportunity to just connect with others who get it. Especially when you are a teen or a child or a college student, leaning in on the school resources, and for those of us who are trying to manage a career, it is helpful to lean in on some of the job resources that are there. Talk to teachers or counselors. They can offer support or flexibility if they understand your situation. Encourage school support. Educate the personnel. Let them know that you have a parent or a grandparent or a great grandparent that you are providing care for that has brain change. Seek extensions if needed. Don't be afraid to ask for help when juggling too much. As far as job resources, there's in the United States, there's family medical leave. In the US, you could be eligible employees can take up to 12 weeks unpaid job protected leave for caregiving. When I was caring for my mom and working full time as a teacher, I did intermittent family medical leave so that I could take 1 or 2 days off a week. So that way I could maintain still working part time. Flexible work assignments, options like remote work, flexible hours, or compressed work weeks can help balance. Paid time off or caregiver leave. Some employers offer additional paid leave for caregiving beyond regular paid time off, and employee assistance programs. Many workplaces provide EAPs that offer free counseling, mental health support, and caregiver resources. So reach out to your human resources department. Manage stress. Use apps like Insight Timer for mindfulness or just practice grounding techniques. I often will just stop when I'm feeling really overwhelmed trying to work and care for my mom, was to just stop and think and give myself that minute to just feel my feet in the ground, feel my body, tense up my muscles for a minute and then let them go. And then really focus on what you can control. Let go of things beyond your control to ease mental pressure and practice affirmations. I can do this. I am doing the best I can. Sometimes for me, I would take a whiteboard marker and on my mirror in my car or in my mirror at my house, I would write myself an affirmation that I would see and repeat so that I could keep that at the forefront of what I was doing. Keeping communication open, both with your parent or grandparent that you are caring for. Find these simple ways to connect, whether it's music or dancing or a meal together. But with your other parent or grandparent, if there is someone else that you are sharing the caring tasks with, tell them what you need. One member of our community says she often will text her mom and tell her mom, "Hey, mom, I need you to help me more with dad. I need a break from dad." And so, developing a place, a safe place where you can reach out for help or you can share how you're feeling can be so helpful. Also, keeping communication open with school staff, coworkers, even your boss can be really powerful if they understand what you're walking with. It's also powerful to learn about the condition, empowering yourself to know more. HFC has a beautiful HFC university that can teach you more about Alzheimer's and dementia because knowledge is power. The more that you know, the more you are able to think of this as your person with brain change, not that that's your person, right? So I would often think, this is my mom, this is her brain change, not my mom. And so, really being able to separate the condition from the person can be nice to find books or listen to audiobooks that can help you to learn more about dementia and Alzheimer's. Following social media accounts. Be Like Care does a beautiful job as a speech language pathologist talking through steps and tools and strategies for dementia care. Dementia Darling does a beautiful job supporting caregivers and dementia caregivers. Dementia Care Blazers has a beautiful YouTube that has interviews and tools and strategies. HFC, as I said, has incredible resources. Will Gather has a podcast. So, learning about the condition the best that you can. And just knowing it's okay to ask for help. Share responsibilities if possible. A lot of the caring fell on me as the daughter, but I reached out to others for help and support to really let me take moments or take breaks. Using tools or apps can be helpful. Finding resources to help with caregiving routines like reminders or calendars. I use one called Todoist. That's a electronic to-do list that helps me check it off my list. It can also alert me on my phone. Google Calendar, a shared calendar can be really helpful. My sister was in Texas and I'm here in Seattle, Washington. And although she wasn't able to help with tasks, her being able to see my calendar and see how many things I did in a day as the carer was so helpful and validating for me. Daughterly is another really beautiful app that keeps track of caregiving responsibility and logs daily care updates. You can store medical history and you can share with family members. I love how Lauren put in there that she loves Dementia Darling. Does anyone else have any tips for managing it all that they would like to put in the chat or say out loud?
I've already kind of said it in the chat, but I think support group has been one of the most helpful things for me. And I really highly recommend if you don't have that as a part of your life already, that you seek it out.
Thank you. Thank you so much for Georgia. I couldn't agree more, right? Finding a community, finding others who get it. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you for sharing the specific support group in the chat with us as well. And also just a reminder, right? It's a lot. There's so many things that we're all doing, but be gentle with yourself. You are doing the best you can. You are managing so many things. I am, you are, and just be gentle with yourself. We see you, we hear you. Tessa said, I color code areas of responsibilities. So when I'm overwhelmed in one area, I'll look at a different color to select something else. That is such a beautiful idea, right? And then even if it was maybe like if it was your Google Calendar and then you were able to maybe remove some of the ones that could be more overwhelming. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all my caregiving tasks from my calendar and just look at my work tasks, or get rid of all my parent tasks and look at that. So thank you, Tessa, for sharing that. You guys have so much knowledge and wisdom. I already feel like we're better together. Next, we're going to talk about some self-care strategies. I know self-care can be really challenging, right? We can have these huge, big things like people always tell you, take care of yourself, do self-care, but it can feel so overwhelming when you already have so many things on your plate. It's like self-care becomes a to-do, and that feels really hard and heavy. So we're going to think a little bit, we're going to shift it a little bit about how we think about self-care. The first thing I want to say that I think is the biggest piece of advice and the biggest self-care strategy is that no is a complete sentence. Telling someone, telling yourself, saying no can help you to know your limits. It's okay to say no when you're feeling overwhelmed. Protect your personal time. Delegate tasks. If possible, share caregiving duties with others to lighten your load. Ask a friend to pick up groceries. Ask a friend to pick up your dog or take your dog for a walk. Think of those tasks that would give you a few more moments to yourself, or like grocery shopping, for me, that's a big task. Thinking about how you can hand those to other people. Or with my sister, she's in Texas. She was long distance caregiving. What she would do is I would have her order the groceries for my dad. And so that way I didn't have to go pick up his groceries. She was handling the groceries so that I didn't have to be the one to go get them, because my mom was living with me and I was navigating all of those things. And acknowledge your efforts. Recognize that you are doing the best you can, and it is okay to not be perfect. None of us are. Yeah, Lauren, I was living with my mom was living with me, and my dad was living in a assisted living facility and he needed more support. So I was caring for both of them while trying to navigate and balance working and my family myself. So thank you. Yeah, it was a lot, but that's why I learned so many different strategies. So thank you so much. It's also important to make time for yourself. Schedule daily or weekly self-care moments, not big self-care events, not big strategies, finding those small moments. It could be a walk, it could be reading one poem, it could be taking a nap. Listen to your body. I learned really quickly I needed to stop and pause and listen to my body. Pay attention to how I was physically feeling, emotionally, and take a 5-minute break even if needed. I will never underestimate the power of small breaks. Stepping away to text a friend, stepping outside to take a breath. If I would step outside for even 1 minute several times a day, that could add up to 10 minutes by the end of the day. And it helped me to protect my peace. Taking a long shower felt like such a treat so often. Reach out to friends or family members. Talk to a friend, a family member, join a support group to share experiences. Reach out to friends and family and let them know what you need. I need you to send me a funny meme this week because it has been hard. I need you to check in with me more this week because I am feeling low. I need some extra love. People often want to help, but they don't know how to do it. So make it actionable. Spend time with friends. Try your best. I know it's so hard. This one was so hard for me to maintain friendships. Social connections outside of caregiving can be such a huge support. For me, it often had to be virtual. We would do virtual happy hours with girlfriends, or hopping online to play games, video games, jackpot party games. Finding these moments to still connect from my house became such a tool. Practice mindfulness and relaxation. Try meditation or deep breathing, just like we did with the Insight Timer. That's a free app. Everything on there is free, and it's such a powerful tool. I also love the Smiling Mind app that is from this beautiful organization in Australia. There's a daily mindfulness podcast for kids. It can be great to use Go Noodle and their flow videos for mindfulness. Mindful.org is another beautiful strategy. And then there's this beautiful website called Mindfulness for Teens. That will be on the document that I share, the resource document at the end. Engage in activities that relax you. Could be journaling, drawing, listening to music. Find an outlet that soothes your mind. With my girlfriends, we ended up building a collective playlist. So we all shared a playlist and we could put songs on there. And so even when I had to be far away from them because I had so much going on, I could put my headphones in, I could put my AirPod in, and I could still be connected. Journaling became such a tool. I use Dailyo, which is for tracking mood and emotional well-being, journaling, mood analytics, and habit tracking. Creating a routine is so helpful because then you can even build in self-care and mindfulness. A predictable routine can reduce stress, but also naming that you need to allow flexibility. Routine is important, but especially as a carer, we know unexpected events happen and things change. It was helpful for me too to set alarms for medication reminders and meal times and personal study breaks or personal work breaks so that I could remember to step away. I could remember to get medications. There's apps like MediSafe for medication tracking or Habitica for really making daily tasks more fun. And then also I often use the Pomodoro technique. So 25 minutes of focus with a 5-minute break. It's also helpful to focus on what you can control. So much of caring is out of your control. Letting go of guilt can help so much. Don't feel guilty for taking time for yourself. I know, easier said than done. You can only take care of others when you take care of yourself, and celebrate those small wins. I went for a 5-minute walk today. I walked with my dog for 10 minutes. I called a friend and we had a great conversation. That is something to celebrate. It fills your cup. Nourish your body and mind. Eat nutritious foods. A balanced diet can be so helpful. I noticed that sometimes during the most frustrating parts of my caring, I was eating more unhealthy and I was feeling worse. So really trying to think about what I was putting into my body, getting enough sleep, exercise. For me, I was working a lot, so using a walking pad was helpful, and then getting outdoors when I could. Fresh air and nature, even just looking outside of the window or stepping outside for a moment can be so helpful. Mallory in the chat said, has anyone found a good way to share with others what your needs and wants are as a caregiver so they can see how they can help without asking? Mallory, I'm gonna think on that for a minute, and then when we get to the end with the Q&A, but I would welcome anyone who wants to respond to Mallory in the chat, but I'll think on it and we'll share. I will definitely make sure we talk about that at the end. So thank you for that question. And then the most important thing is just this reminder to seek professional help if needed. Therapy and counseling can be such powerful tools on this journey. Talking to a professional can help process emotions and provide coping strategies. And then there are many resources for young carers that offer guidance on managing emotional health. I think it's also good to note that there are crisis lines. If you text home, sorry, I don't know what that was. If you text home to 741-741, that's a 24/7 free support in the US. There's 988 which is a crisis lifeline. The Rosalind Carter Institute has a care line. So you can call, and I'll make sure to put these in the chat at the end. You can call the caregiver line 24/7. Lotsofhelpinghands.com is a great app. So thank you. Remembering that self-care is not selfish, it's essential for maintaining your well-being. Take care of yourself allows you to continue supporting your person. Real quickly, does anyone want to share what fills their cup? What are their favorite self-care strategies? Thank you, Ursula, for responding to the question in the chat.
Well, I guess another sort of self-care thing is also just like letting yourself be sad and feel grief and feel your feelings, because we're so busy and we don't have time to like be sad, and
Really?
we're focused on the logistics of fixing the problems on the day to day. And if I don't do it intentionally, I don't make time to feel sad.
100%, Georgia. You just brought up such a big point, right? Like there's so much grief on this journey, right? Dementia is a progressive disease. And so allowing ourselves that time to name that we're grieving and feel our feelings and lean in on that is so powerful. So thank you so much, Georgia. The next part of our time is to really think about how can we create some moments of joy while we're balancing all of this. I know some of us have more complex relationships, but finding moments of joy despite it all helps us to carry it through. I also thought this quote was so powerful. Caring for someone with dementia is about finding joy in the small moments and creating meaningful memories for ourselves, right? Share simple activities together, engage in favorite pastimes like gardening, painting, or listening to music. Doing things you both enjoy can create a meaningful experience. For my mom, she was a big quilter. She wasn't able to quilt anymore, but we were able to create art together. Watching favorite movies or show, enjoying a film together can evoke familiar positive emotions. There are some really beautiful apps like Zinnia TV that has small videos that you can use that are made for and therapeutic for people with dementia. Nana's books are books that have very few words and beautiful reflective pictures. SingFit is another beautiful app. I love that, Lauren. Lauren says that she loves taking my mom out and about, but it makes her fearful, even though she can't really talk anymore. And I love letting her enjoy life. Yes, finding ways to enjoy life is so, so powerful and still find those moments of joy. Yes, I will put those in the app or in the chat right now. And then I also have a resource sheet that I will share at the end. Creating new traditions. What are some small positive routines that you can start now? Celebrating little moments, even small milestones like a beautiful sunset or sharing a favorite snack can be so powerful. Life is shifting. Do what you can to embrace your new normal. Embrace the new things they love. My mom, we got her a robotic pet, and it was such a tool for her. She loved dogs, but she could no longer have a dog. So getting her that, and we just embraced it as a member of our family. She named her Popcorn. Connecting through the five senses, play favorite music, create a playlist together. Hand holding or hugs, physical touch can be such a powerful tool. Some of my favorite moments was just sitting and brushing my mom's hair or doing a hand massage, comfy blankets, creating a cozy, safe space together. Set up a comfortable area with favorite books or favorite blankets. Engaging in sensory activities. Arts and crafts can be a beautiful way, baking or cooking together. My mom loved baking. She loved cooking. She was no longer able to follow a recipe, so I would pre-set up all the ingredients, and all she had to do was dump and mix. And it allowed for us to still have those moments together doing the things she loved. My favorite, sharing laughter and lightness. Watch a funny video or read a lighthearted book. Find humor in the small things. I often say on this journey, if we weren't laughing, we were crying. So how can we embrace the silly moments and share the unexpected happenings and just find humor together? Finding joy in everyday activities and just leaning in on the person she was and is now. Focusing on positive moments, whether your loved one remembers a song or says something that makes you smile, just celebrate that. Georgia, I agree. Funny cat animal videos are the best. My mom loved dog videos, and Zinnia TV that I put in the chat has beautiful cat and dog and nature videos. Create memory or scrapbooks. It was often so beautiful for my mom and I to just sit and look at old pictures together. She really, kind of felt at points that that was the age she was, so she was able to engage in those moments. We have a beautiful member of our Lorenzo's house community. He shares often that he likes to look at pictures with his dad, and when his dad looks at a picture for longer, he's able to kind of write some notes so that he can hold those memories in his heart. Enjoy nature. I know we talked about getting out and about, take a walk together. My mom had some mobility issues at the end, so I would often get a wheelchair to make it easier. And just having those opportunities to just get out, look at nature together. One of the teens in our teen light club at Lorenzo's house, he often takes pictures of what he sees out in nature and then brings them back on his phone to share with his dad. Set up a bird feeder, and just being really fully present in quiet moments. Some of my favorite moments with my mama was just sitting on the couch and holding hands, or watching a funny cat video, or even doing some mindfulness together. Could we do a breathing technique? Could we do a short 1-minute mindfulness together just to calm both of our bodies and acknowledge your own joy? Recognize your own happiness. It's okay to feel joy, even if you are navigating difficult circumstances or you're grieving. Find your own joy and celebrate that. To go with our theme of funny animal videos, I am going to share my favorite dog video. I thought we could all use a quick laugh together. So if you haven't seen this dog video, we'll enjoy this together. I wanted to bring in mindfulness. I wanted to bring in some joy. So let's do this dog video together.
Food. I just couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I went to the fridge and I opened up the meat drawer. You know what the meat drawer is, right?
Yeah. What was in there?
Well, I'll tell you what was in there. You know that bacon that's like maple? It's got maple flavor.
The maple kind, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I took that out and I thought,
Yeah.
I know who would like that. Me. So I ate it.
Oh, no. You're kidding me.
Nope. Not kidding. I also noticed there was some beef in there. Yeah, steak, juicy. Well, I ate that too. But I went back to the fridge just a few minutes ago, and I put something together really special. You're gonna love this one. I took some chicken.
Yeah.
I put some cheese on it, and I covered it with
Covered it with what?
I covered it with cat treats.
Yeah.
Then guess what?
What?
I gave it to the cat.
Thank you for taking that moment. Even something like a silly video like that can be so good for your self-care, so good for connecting with your person, and just reminds us to just embrace and laugh and find that joy. And then the last objective of our time together is this idea of building your village. So you need tips for managing it all. You need self-care strategies. You need to find those moments to connect, but you also need your people. In this room are some of your people. There are sons and daughters and beautiful, beautiful, wonderful souls in here that you can connect with now and after. I love that, Ursula. And create your network of family and friends. Talk to friends and family. Some of those around you, to the point earlier in the chat, they don't understand all of the things that you're doing, all your needs and wants. But sharing your experience with them and asking for specific types of help can be so helpful. Organize casual gatherings if you can. I would often invite my friends. I couldn't go out and do things as easily, but they could come in, bring coffee, bring tea. Let's sit on the back deck together. Join a support group. There are incredible, incredible groups. HFC has beautiful groups. Our friends shared the beautiful group that they're part of. I work for Lorenzo's House. We have virtual support groups for young adults. Find your people, find your community, websites, forums, social media groups. Facebook and Reddit has some incredible spaces. Reach out to local nonprofits and organizations. Many nonprofits support younger carers. There's the American Association of Caregiving Youth. HFC has their incredible support groups. They also have the Youth Movement Against Alzheimer's. The Rosalind Carter Institute has incredible, thank you, Ursula, has incredible caregiver groups. There's the Youth Against Alz, Young Carers UK, Carers Trust. Oh, Lauren, you guys are so sweet. There's also youth care events. So sometimes they will host different things, different events, just like today, HFC, you're seeing youth carers, we're here. There's also, exploring online courses and workshops, for example, caregiving.com and the Family Caregiver Alliance. Sometimes there's art and creative workshops. My mom did art therapy online in a group setting, and so I became friends with the other carers. There's also music therapy classes with Bridgetown Music, connecting with other young carers through social media. The document that I will share at the end is a resource document. It includes some incredible young carer social medias. I share my story, as Lauren said, on social media. Mom of My Mom is an incredible resource. Life with Grams, Career and Caregiving Collide, who spoke on one of the panels. Using hashtags like young carer or caregiving community or dementia. That's how I started sharing my journey, is that I started to just use a hashtag of caregiver daughter, and I started to connect with others. Focus on your mental health and well-being. So finding that community, finding the support and resources you need. Oftentimes there are resource centers and libraries in local communities. It's especially hard for me. I was a young carer. My mom had younger onset dementia, so I didn't turn to the local area Department of Aging, but I should have. There are so many resources through organizations like that within your community or within your library. And then the other piece is raise awareness for young carers. Share your story. By sharing your story, you empower others. You can advocate for young carers in your community. By doing this, you can help create more awareness, and that can bring attention to the needs and support. Amplify youth voices. Advocate for yourself and others by speaking up to legislators, leaders, businesses, and educational services. WIMA, with their Youth Movement Against Alzheimer's, is working in college campuses to raise awareness. We can break the stigma by sharing our story and raising awareness. Building your village of support as a young carer can be empowering. Connecting with others who understand your journey provides both emotional relief and practical strategies to help navigate the caregiving experience. Be proactive in seeking out resources, and don't hesitate to reach out to friends, families, and others for help. You are not alone. And I want to leave some time we have about 5 minutes left. I feel like my timing was good there. AFTD, thank you for that too, Lauren. AFTD is an incredible resource. They also have an incredible conference that happens in May. So all of these opportunities to connect with others who are walking a similar journey is so powerful. I am going to put my resource, I'll stop sharing, sorry. Oh, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and then I open it up if anyone has any questions. I do know, Mallory, you said, has anyone found a good way to share with others what your needs and wants are as a caregiver so they can see how they can help without asking? There are some really beautiful apps out there that I know that you can list. Support Now is one of them, where you can list like different tasks so you don't have to ask them and they could just gain access to your app. But I also, for me, it was like starting with one thing. I need friends to take my dog for a walk and just saying one thing so that then we could start to build that strategy. But it's so hard. You just want people to help, but they don't really know how to help often. And so coming up with ways to just ask for help can be so challenging. And so it's so hard, Mallory. And I know that there was some ideas in the chat as well. So thank you. Any other questions? And thank you, Giovanna, so for putting that in the chat. There's the Caregiver Connect at the end. And I'm going to put this resource list in the chat as well. Any other questions or wonderings? Does anyone else have any other strategies or ways that they created moments of joy or built their village? I love, Lauren, that you put AFTD in there and they also have a grant. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Lauren. I agree. Laughter is such a powerful tool. Not only is it a tool for self-care and community, but it's also such a powerful tool. I often found if I could get my mom laughing, it would stop us from crying and stop her from crying. And so thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you, Victoria. So glad that you joined us. Please make sure to join the Caregiver Connect Lounge after the session. I will just put my email in the chat as well if you ever have any follow-up questions. But thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Ursula. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Tessa, Mallory, Victoria, Lauren. We are in this together. You guys are all doing such a beautiful job. And so thank you, thank you, thank you for spending your Valentine's afternoon with me. And I hope you enjoy the Caregiver Connect and continue to build community and connection. And we see you and sending you love. Thank you, Georgia. So lovely to meet you. Tessa, that's so
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I do a celebration morning when I'm part of my mom. Thank you, Tessa. That is so touching. It's like thinking about all those little moments of grief along the journey. Oh, thank you for being here. And please join the Caregiver Connect and have a happy Heart Day.